all. I hope you are doing well. I'm gonna attempt to do the video, well, talk about some stuff that I spoke about on a video that I did yesterday, but for some reason, although the video recorded and saved, it didn't have any sound, so I'm not too sure why, but I think I do know why, because I was saying certain things and there's probably a trigger word that has some automated block on, because I'm sure it's happened before when I spoke about a similar thing. But anyway, I hope you're doing good, whatever you have planned for your weekend ahead. I have just completed a 34-mile dry fasted cycle with no food, no water. I've been dry fasting now probably for about 14 hours. So I set out on the early rise and decided to cycle. I was planning to do a marathon anyway, but I ended up going over. So yeah, feeling good. Had a nice shower. I've still not consumed anything, and this is the beauty of it. Like, when you have the real lived experience, you really can see things for what they really are. And along my journey, I've done a lot of experimenting, but I've also got the feedback from other people that also confirm the same thing as well, that I've gone on to do some amazing stuff. But in the program that we have been given, and the program that we have abided to by choice, although we may think it's not by choice most of the time, we've been led to believe that certain things run a particular way, but actually that's not at all true. So yeah, but just to kind of touch on something, a lot of the time, and I've touched on it before many times, but you know, often we may say that we're hungry, and you know, the mind is such a powerful instrument that when you command something, the universe will bring it forth and recreate the program, your program. So that being said, if you say, I'm hungry, all those trillions of cells pick up that command, that instruction, and they start working together to fulfill your command, right? But the reality is, most people will consume something, but they're not getting energy from the food. They're still feeling tired. They're feeling sluggish. They feel more heavy. They're weighed down, right? And it's just a continuous cycle, something that I've not experienced for the longest time. And sometimes I do forget certain things, but even just having those so-called hunger pains, the hunger pains is nothing but the parasites acting up in your system and wanting to be fed. So although you have the blueprint of what's right and what's universally aligned, you will still go against that alignment. So you'll consume something that you know isn't necessarily filled with life force energy. There's no enzymes in there, there's no hormones in there, there's no phytonutrients in there, there's no energy in there, right? And this is why most people keep consuming, keep eating, and they're uncomfortable, and they've gone so far away from their natural design that they don't even know what it feels like to feel. They don't have any idea of what it feels like to be in a state with nothing coming in that's not influencing your reality. So ultimately, you can say that if you drink alcohol, you're going to be drunk, or you're going to feel tipsy, or you're going to feel your state, your consciousness, your state is going to be altered, right? If you have, I don't know, recreational drugs or whatever it may be, then your state also will change. Just like, you know, give a child some sweets, they start becoming all hyperactive, you know, so all the chemicals, everything is a chemical reaction. Everything has a reaction. And when you're putting things into this premium, ultimate design, this vessel, this sacred vessel, you're going to get a reaction. But have you ever gone a period of time with nothing coming in? Most people will say, oh, I feel tired, like because I've not eaten or I've not consumed anything. That's just your body detoxifying. That's just your body turning on and bringing in the cleanup crew. But because you're not staying in that state long enough, and because your body is probably riddled with toxins, parasites, all sorts of stuff, heavy metals, you name it, it's finding it very, very hard. So that process has to be done probably more gently. For those that I don't know, they have health implications or whatnot, I understand that sometimes you just got to do what you got to do, and you just got to dive deeper sooner. But that isn't always the best way, because it took you so long to get in a particular state. It's not going to be an overnight thing. It for me, it's become a lifestyle of something that I enjoy doing, and something that I feel, I can't even put into words the feeling that I feel just by living this lifestyle, to be honest with you, because there's nothing stopping me from consuming the things that I used to consume, the meat, you know, all this sort of stuff. But I've got my vessel to a state of cleanliness that my body just has reactions to anything that I have that isn't really good for me. I didn't know that, you know, tea with like caffeinated, like tea with like caffeine in was gonna cause such a reaction to myself that I really can't even consume it. But that's okay. I don't feel bad for not consuming it. I just find alternatives. What happens is my body starts to sweat. No, it's just trying to pull all these things out. But when I'm eating things that are filled with life, that does not happen at all. I mean, sometimes I might sweat if I consume something that's highly cleansing, but that's a very rare occasion. And the cleaner that your body is, the clearer everything is, the smoother everything runs. Your life just becomes better. You're not suffering, you're not struggling. Everything is just coming to you in the divine right time. Everything is in divine alignment. That it's just beautiful. And another thing, even if I was to consume something that I probably shouldn't consume, things start happening. Like things start happening. I'm not saying like bad things start happening, but that those great things are not really there as much. Something else I wanted to touch on was that I was talking about the other day. Back in 2021, when I started my juice fast, the 200-day juice fast, when I got to about a day 150, I did a video. It was called The Important Message, I believe. And that's still on my YouTube channel. So I would highly advise anyone and everyone that feels called to see what I'm talking about to head over to that video. And that's definitely one of the earlier videos. It won't take you long to find it. But in that video, I was talking about the importance of cleansing the vessel and the importance of protecting yourself and your energy. And, you know, I spoke about it then, and I'm going to talk about it now, that so much things are happening that those that are sitting on the fence are going to be forced to pick a side, essentially. And if you do not have your right thought, you may be persuaded to go against yourself. And it won't seem so obvious because you're blocked and clogged up. So there's no clarity, there's no purity. But mark my words, if you do not start cleansing the vessel, you do not start taking that time for yourself, you do not start acknowledging the things that you're holding on to, you're almost going to be consuming yourself, and it's not going to end well. And bad things, not so good things are going to start happening. So I've been doing my videos for a very long time. I've been sharing a lot of content for a very long time. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I genuinely do care. But I do also acknowledge, and I'm very aware that not everyone is going to be aligned to the message and to the information that I share. But for those that have been following for a very long time, for those that are waiting for that perfect moment, because every moment is a perfect moment, every moment is perfect, every moment is perfect. There's not a not perfect time or a perfect moment. Every second, you know, even if you're doing something that you internally feels like it's not that good, the universe, God, creator, source is always making things better, even when you think that it doesn't look better. Surely, you know, many of you can agree that now looking back on the experiences that you've had, that maybe at a certain time or particular time, you know, it didn't feel good or it didn't feel nice, but looking back now, surely you can acknowledge that if these things or that didn't happen, then you probably wouldn't be the person that you are now, and the person that you are now, maybe you're happy with that person or that version of yourself, right? But trust me when I say this, I genuinely do care. And for those that have been watching, looking through my stuff, it's time to come off the fence. It's time. It's actually time. It's time to step up, because time is truly ticking. And yes, It's very easy for me just to, I could completely come offline. I've told you, I've mentioned it before, I could completely come offline and just get on with my life and do my own thing and just really just keep growing, keep being a student of life, and always being open-minded to learning new things, always being open-minded to hear new things, always being open-minded even to the things that maybe I'm not in alignment with, but just hearing it out. Because once you remove the pride and the ego, which that does dissolve when you start cleaning up. As you start getting cleaner and cleaner, the pride and the ego go. And for those that may think that no, you've got to have the pride and the ego because like, no, you can be so aware that you can adapt and change yourself to any particular environment, but without the pride and the ego. Like, there's a time and a place to do certain things, but if you're always in your pride and ego, this is why some people might think they've done enough, but actually that's the pride and the ego. That's the ego, and this is a protection. It's a protective mechanism by design, by default. Nobody is walking around like, they say like manly man, like a manly man, but what society sees as a manly man is a man that has aggression, or like has a way about him that's like alpha this and alpha that. Like, I do not fear anybody, no matter what sort of job you got. I don't care what your status is. I can walk in any room, right, and feel very, very comfortable without having to change my posture, and without, like, I have a presence. I know I have a presence. Like, this is not new news, right? Like, the universe, God, creator, source is always got my best interests, always protecting me. And especially when I'm in alignment and I'm doing what I need to do, everything just runs the way that it's meant to run. But yeah, we're in autumn, and this is the time of cleansing. This is the time of purifying yourself. This is the time of really going internal. You see the trees, look out in nature. What are the trees doing? They start to shed. They're shedding the dead leaves. Can you acknowledge things in your life that are not serving you, that need to be shed? Maybe it's time to sit down and journal and really look at your life, look at your routine, look at the people that you're surrounding yourself with, look at the things that you're consuming. Looking at how do you feel? Like, how are things making you feel? Is there something that's been playing on your mind for the longest time and consuming you? It's time to sit down with self. It's time to stop running away from self. It's time to stop distracting yourself from self. It's time to immerse yourself in self. And that's all I've got today. But I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope that there's some inspiration in what I've said, and there's a catalyst in what I've said to bring forth change within your life for the highest good, for the highest purpose. Because that's what I want. That's what I want for you. If you're watching this video, that's what I want for you. Command it. Command the divinity. Command to be put on your highest purpose of self, to bring the opportunities, to bring the experiences that's just gonna help you evolve in the most joyful, peaceful way. And until next time, I'll catch you on the next video.